Here. Okay, fabulous. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday. Um, and welcome. So today we're gonna talk about um I'm gonna talk about the quality of your conversations, the quality of your conversations. And really this little weekly chat, this chat today is just a recap of the week, what was in the week, what I spoke about in the week. Um, there were so many thoughts, flooding through my mind of things that I wanted to say, but I just could not choose one. It's almost as if when you think too much or when you have so much going on in your brain that you just don't know, you can't make a decision. So I thought that I would do like a weekly roundup of what I spoke about, because people are busy, you are busy. You may have seen one or two posts, and then Instagram has changed their algorithm, they've changed the settings. So, what they're doing now, and I'm on Facebook as well, um, but what they're doing now is they are more leaning towards video type of content. Just something for you to know. Um, so yeah, they're still doing photos and stuff like that. But if you have more like video type content, it's gonna be shown more. So that's the other thing. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Waveney. I'm a leadership coach, and I help new managers develop leadership influence by mastering their relationships at work and leveraging their communication skills. I really hope. Okay, the lighting looks good on Facebook, I think. So, on to our story, on to what I want to talk about. Now, my focus um, is really what I talk about. Sorry, what I talk about is speak a lot about is building your relationships and your communication, and as it relates to you being a leader, like those two, I focus on relationship building and enhancing your communication, and these are lifelong skills. They're never ever gonna go away, never. All right. And the beauty about um, enhancing and developing you as it relates to your communication and your relationship skills is that it spills over into your personal life. And so these two things are never going away. One of the things that you have to be aware of is your communication style, how you communicate. Each of us has a default communication style, and sometimes that needs a bit tweaking, especially in a leadership role. So, if you are a bit um, passive or a bit introverted or a bit um, let's use the word introverted, it doesn't mean that you won't make a great leader, or even if you are direct, okay? You don't know how to beat around the bush, as we say. You don't know how to beat around the bush. Um, you are going to find when you lead people, even if you don't, that's the thing. Even if you don't, then once you add other people into the equation, you're going to have to learn to adjust your style, because leadership is not a one and done. When you are in that role, it's not one and done. It's not about um, so much about, there's this one formula and you can apply it to every single thing. Leadership is very much situational, which is why um, there's so many avenues. I give you so many tools. There's so many facets of it, right? And I touch on these in my coaching programs, Communicate to Influence. So, you first thing is understanding your communication style, because communication is a lifelong skill, and it's something that you will have to learn. So if you're a bit introverted and you're first in a, you're getting into your leadership role, or you want to be a manager one day, um, probably the first thing for you to do is to get over that shyness, develop that extra confidence, get past that thinking. Like I had a client that just thought that small talk was just really a waste of time, right? And it is a waste of time if you're not having, if you don't monitor the quality of those conversations. But in the other spectrum of it, it could be very rewarding because you are building a connection with your team, with your people, with your boss, with your peers, the people that you work with, and that is always a good thing. It makes for a better work relationship, and it makes your life easier. It helps you to understand people a lot better, the people that you're working with a lot better. And so communication is a lifelong skill. All right. So you have to know your communication style as well. Um, Always, whenever, one of the things that I would I've learned and you would discover as well is by investing in yourself, learning and growing, whatever way you choose to do it, investing in yourself, up leveling your leadership skills, working on that, personal development. There's a change that will help you because it will help you to become a better leader. Whenever you develop yourself, your personal development, you always become better for the people around you, for the people that you lead. And that's one of the things that I have found. Of course, if you don't apply anything, then, I mean, if you don't apply what you learn, then nothing will change. And changing can be difficult. Changing and growing is not easy because you're stepping out of your comfort zone. You are doing things that you've never done before. You are using language that you've never done before. You're speaking in a certain way that you've never done before, and that can be uncomfortable. And it's a constant process. All right. And this is just a chat. If you're just joining, this is just really a chat about what I sort of delivered this week. And so you leadership is very much, uh, although it is about the people, it's very much about you, because you before you lead people, you really have to be disciplined and lead yourself. You really have to work on you. All right, you really have to do that. On Monday, I spoke about, you know coming from a place, and I really believe this, coming from a place where you have to be clear on your role as um, as a leader. And when I say clear on your role, it's not about what tasks you need to do, what tasks the others need to do, what are the company's goals, that sort of thing. Those things are important as well, but really clear on why you're there, why you are there. You are there to support, guide, and coach people. You're there to help to inspire and motivate and connect, and which is why the people's brand, those are our three pillars. We're connecting, we're inspiring, and we're influencing people, because I believe when you connect to people, you form a bond, you form a bridge, you connect, right? When you inspire, when you connect to people, you are able to inspire them. okay, with your words, your language, your actions. And then you are also, when they're inspired, you're able to influence them, not force them, right? But influence, have that effect. Through your connecting and inspiring, you have such an effect on them that they are influenced. And that is really the job of a leader. And you spend more time playing in that area of doing those things, holding people accountable, connecting, inspiring, influencing, so that when you have to, well, you spend more time there, so that when you have to do the other piece of it, which is accountability, which is, you know, accountability is just holding people to a standard. You know, sometimes as humans, we get off track. Sometimes we are not up to the standard. Sometimes we do um, things that are not so pleasing. I don't know if I like the word wrong in this sentence. So I'm trying not to use the word wrong, right? But you get the idea. So when you have to get into those conversations, those accountability and those critical conversations with people, it's easier because you've built that relationship with others. It's easy to have accountability conversation when you've built that relationship with others. Very easy. People always think about the fact that they don't want to tell somebody when they did something wrong, or they don't want to do that thing. But it's easier when you have that relationship, when you spend that time coaching, guiding, directing, connecting with them, um, helping them, training them. Um, it's so much easier to hold them accountable. So much easier. Is it going to be a little bit uncomfortable for you? Perhaps, given the level of it, you know. Um, you won't take joy, especially if it's something really serious and it results in them being separated from the company. Of course, you'll take no joy in it. But you, on the other hand, you are going to feel so much more like, yes, I have done enough, you know. I've done enough. You know, sometimes as leaders, you get into situations where you ask yourself, could I have done more? Could I have done more to help this person? And it doesn't matter if the person is at fault. Could I have done more? Could I have said something? Could I have done something? And which is why you play in that area of coaching, supporting, guiding, so that when you have those conversations, it's so much easier. It's so much easier. Uncomfortable at first if you're doing it for the first time, but it's easier because you have that connection already. All right. And then lastly, I want to talk about two important things about knowing I spoke about this week, knowing your audience, knowing the people on your team. One of the things I learned earlier on is um, I'm a trained facilitator. So one of the things I learned is to know your audience, know the people in your audience, know the, and when I say that, know the makeup of the audience. All right. What's there? And I'm not talking about like so much um every single detail, okay? But I'm talking about a general idea of the audience. If you are going to do a training class, like when persons invite me to do a training class, I'm going to ask questions like, what do they do? Okay, this is the topic you've chosen. What's going on here? Maybe they ask me to speak about conflict management. What types of conflict do you have? Are you having this issue? Are you, and you get more into it. That's what I mean, knowing your audience. Now, in a team, it's easier when you lead a team. You need to understand the motivations and the background of the people that you're leading. And when I say background, I'm talking about maybe the jobs that they've had, how long they've worked at that company. Um, I've seen it so many times that leaders go into a new organization and they have an expectation about the team, which is fine, but you also have to know stuff about the team. You have to know maybe this person have been in this role for a very long time, they're ready to grow. There are lots of leaders, they promise people jobs that I really don't like that. They promise people things, if you do this for this time, then I'll promote you to this, and people buy into that, and you know that's not the case. You also have to know the the educational background of the people that um, you level, I should say, of the people that you work with. And here's why I say this. Because sometimes, and I've seen where people are in jobs that they are not well placed for, and they are struggling, and nobody has really ever told them anything. And in comes this new manager, and this person is now an underperformer. I've seen it happen so many times. An underperformer, and the manager is like, what is happening? Why is this person here? Like, there's this, and then you start to see all sorts of issues being highlighted. Well, why is that? It could be that person was never coached on their performance. It could be that could be no one has ever, the person was there before, never held them accountable. And so they're in the wrong job. They're in a job that they're not well equipped for. And so that's important, right? And so know your audience, know your team. And it helps as well because if you are like, my background is in hospitality, okay? And in hospitality, there are many jobs available, but for the most part, there are people who are doing jobs that many people would not want to do. For example, um, you know, keeping the kitchens clean. There's that job, and it's a very important job, very important job because a chef can't work in a kitchen that is not clean, it's not hygienic. There's a host of other things. So those jobs are important. They're the people that um, clean rooms in lots of countries. And many people don't know this unless you're in hospitality. In many countries, the people who do these jobs are people who, they come in, they're either going to school or they've come from another country to make their lives better. And so, why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you all this because if you are a leader in a particular industry or a particular field or anywhere you're a leader, you need to understand the makeup of your team. You need to, so that you could communicate in their language. Sometimes you you go to maybe someone is giving a speech or a presentation. The way you give a presentation or training to maybe a group of engineers, for example, is not the same delivery you're going to give to a group of people who's just coming out of school, right? And I think I've made my point. So know your audience. Even as a leader, you need to know the makeup of your team, the background of your team, and it will save you in the long run. Are your people well equipped? Are they happy in their jobs? What is their background? And that's great to know as well because they may have a particular skill that you can utilize, right? That nobody knows about, that they're just sitting on it. Maybe they're shy about it. Maybe they think that it's no big deal, and it's a skill and an asset, and it needs to be highlighted and recognized, and they need to be rewarded for it. So that is something that, if you're listening to this, I want you to take it back and really sit and think about it, and think about the people that are on your team, the background, you know, what they're doing, their motivations, get to know them, which is why this is important. And they'll thank you for it. They will appreciate you for it. You will be better off for it, right? Um, and it'll just make the team much more cohesive. People don't really work for companies, they work for people they like. I'm sorry. They don't work for companies, people work for people that they like. I've seen it. And so you want to be an influential leader, you want a leader to be a leader that's tapped in, that is you know that knows what's going on. You want to be a leader that really cares about people, the people that they lead. And so that's it. I just wanted to have a quick chat on the stuff that was posted this week. If you didn't get an opportunity to read it, um, and I will have a fabulous weekend. Happy Saturday. Oh, one last thing. If you're really liking my content, sometimes I keep forgetting to say this. If you if you really like the content, if you want to up level your skills, I think everybody should be up leveling anyway. Their skills always. You can't stay stuck. You have to grow, right? If you need more assistance in your leadership, send me a DM, or if you've been hearing me for a very long time, you can schedule a consultation call. Thank you, Valencia. I didn't realize you were there. You can schedule a consultation call and um, to get into my Communicate to Influence program. I also have another program because I've been getting lots of questions from persons and interests from persons who are not managers. So the Communicate to Influence program is a 90-day program. We work together for 90 days, and it's for persons who are new in leadership roles, say maybe yeah, they're new leaders, right? But I have another one that I'm releasing. I'm starting it in September, and it's just for 1 month. It's an accelerator. It's called Emerger Manager, and it's for persons who um, they maybe, well, you're not a manager but you want to be one, or someday or soon, or you just want to have an additional skill in your pocket. You want to grow, and so it's just for 1 month, and we have 3 modules in it. If you're interested, send me a DM, or you can email me. My email address is somewhere on these platforms, and I can give you more information on that. So I'll be running that as well. And so happy Saturday. Thank you for tuning in. If you if there's someone you think that can benefit from this, please share it with them. If you think that there's someone who can benefit from either Communicate to Influence or Emerger Manager, you can share the information with them as well. Thank you so much and have a lovely weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.